I met the first Jesuits quite early during my school time in my hometown, and being at the same time catechist in my native parish. Some Jesuit fathers came to give us lectures and training courses and led some retreats for us during the weekends. I would like to say they were quite wonderful and interesting experience for me. Later, when I became a student in Saigon, and I joined a Catholic student group, which was led by a Jesuit as well. So to speak, having experiences of meeting Jesuits and reading many books on the Ignatian spirituality Tao. But the last puzzle of my vocational journey was an 8-day-long retreat, which led me to the decision to join the Society of Jesus. In a funny way to say, the Jesuit taught me to go to Jesus, but Jesus sent me back to the Jesuits. I have, during my studies, many consolations and zero desolations, so to speak, but I would say challenges. Well, you said France and Germany. I would like to use two terms in French and German to describe my studies time. First, it's a kind of déjà vu experience, to explore and to live what was lived already in my first step into Society of Jesus, to live them differently in culture of the Church worldwide, in the universal Society of Jesus, and even, so to speak, rediscovering the cultural heritage of Europe and Vietnam. Déjà vu because I felt being confirmed on what I was taught in my first step as a Jesuit, to build a personal and a committed love to the world according to the Spirit of Jesus. Second, Begeisterung. That means being enthusiastic of new knowledge, new situation, socially, culturally, and intellectually, not only in philosophy or theology, but arts, modern lifestyle, and even cooking. Begeisterung. It is actually the starting point of all philosophical process that we need, a permanent astonishment about everything. It's a moderate Begeisterung. I would say a relative enthusiasm, because I used to be the assistant to the Dean of Studies years before during my regency, and I did teach some to the scholastics already some courses. So it is now just a feeling of a renewed responsibility. But actually, honestly, I just feel a call to be what I say to my brothers as well, a feeling of devotio et eruditio, which means a kind of commitment, passion, but at the same time efficiency and perseverance in personal work and research and teamwork and in classroom as well. Mostly, I think that's one of the particular points in our institute, in our scholasticate, is some teaching in Eastern tradition of philosophy and religions as well. Philosophical to study in the context of Vietnam, I mean to provide or to form a competence of discipline, independent thinking, self-studies, and open a serious dialogue with Eastern tradition and even actual problems of Asian societies. philosophy is important to anybody, no? But I'm joking. As a sign of orientation, philosophy has the duty to give direction in the way we tackle each question, coming from small things to big things, from our daily life to the most fundamental questions of humanity. But in this sense, Vietnam, to teach philosophy in Vietnam is like any other societies. But historically, Western philosophy as a science was introduced to Vietnam just around 100 years ago, and is still an unknown and unacceptable thing to many, to Vietnamese people. Through our students, I hoped, and through our professors as well, we hope to extend the studies and researches to a larger population, so that the mutual understanding among people right in Vietnam and with our neighbors, our other cultures, can be improved and hopefully become more lively. Well, I don't want to put more burdens to my brothers. Yeah, no additions, not really. But I think deepening, giving a more solid and coherent basis for their studies. And then I hope through our teaching and workshop and other activities, we put emphasis on some actual questions coming from the civil society, challenges from what we call now post-truth era and the world of digitalization and artificial intelligence. So I think that is now the time for us as scholastic and teachers in philosophy to come back to classical questions in philosophy about truth, development, the nature of our inter-objective relationships. To be short, two things. Not everybody will become a philosopher, but what they will live and do, they will do their mission philosophically. Second, I would like to end with a saying of Habermas, Bewusstsein von dem, was fehlt. To be aware of things which are now absent or missing in our common life, in our Christian way of doing and thinking. We learn philosophy and theology, we earn technologies in order to be able to recognize what is still missing, absent, not yet to be tackled in the church, in the society, or even in a person's life, for whom we are called to work or served. So in Ignatian way, in Ignatian jargon, finding God in all things, that means included what are now missing. My final dreams for our St. Joseph's Scholasticate is to make it a Greek marketplace in which everybody are welcoming to come freely, to meet to each other, to enter into dialogues, to discuss about things, to feel at home, to build friendships, and mostly to have fun.